Networks don't talk about it. Government can't tax it. But sports betting is a $200 billion a year business.
That's a major U.S. Supreme Court ruling that could open the door for legalized sports betting all across the country.
The Supreme Court is giving the green light for states to determine on their own whether they want to legalize sports gambling.
Tell Donahue his next pick is good for 20 grand, but I need him to guarantee a win, okay? I need a lock.
He's not that fucking good.
No, Tommy, he has to. All right, he has to, or else they're going to kill me. Do you realize this, Tommy? They're going to fucking kill me. I can't afford to gamble anymore. I need a fucking lock.
Yo, welcome on in. It is Thursday, October 2nd. Welcome into Lock Talk as the Rams just are bumbling all over the damn place on Thursday Night Football. For those of you that have San Francisco tickets like myself, things are looking just dandy. Welcome in, welcome all. Kind of let people roll in here. Another beautiful Thursday evening here as we've got TNF going on. We've got MLB playoffs and basketball's right around the corner. And speaking of basketball, after this, you got to switch over. Go watch my boys at the Pump Fake Pod as they are going to break down Conference USA and MACtion tonight. Very excited to get my MAC fix for basketball. There's everybody rolling in. Make sure you're hopping in the chat, asking any questions, seeing if you have any bets that might be tailable. Definitely looking to get people active as we go. Other than that, obviously this stream is brought to you by Bet Openly. Bet Openly slowly becoming more and more in the news as peer-to-peer / bet market / all this shit is kind of happening all at the same time as our partnership. So it's been interesting to see how that all goes. I want to have Gino on. I don't want to get into the Kalashi, Bet Exchange, all that stuff. I want to leave that to the expert himself. So whether it's this week, next week, sometime soon, he is a busy man, but we'll get him on to talk shop. This week, I've got my guy Isaac hopping on to talk props here in just a couple of minutes. You also know him as Fraudulent. Not much of a fraudulent better. Me and Isaac had a lovely weekend that we're going to get into in just a second. And then a little bit later, around 8:45 Central Time, about 40 minutes from now, my guy Eric from the ETOF 21 Sports Show is hopping back on to talk sides, totals, a little more specific betting, because Isaac and I are going to run through props. But before we do that, I do want to talk a little bit of college football, as obviously it's not a massive part of this show, but at the same time, we like to check on the line. So for those of you that know this odds screen, it is the Bet Openly odds screen. Only place that you should be betting football this fall. I am super, super excited. Whoops, going to the wrong one there. Bingo. Super excited to be partnered with them. One of the cool new features you'll see here on the Western Kentucky side is they do offer the closing line value. So right now you've got closing line value at 1%, closing line value at -1. So you kind of can see how this goes as we run through the Friday night games. There's not much going on as far as Friday night. You get West Virginia against BYU, which is not probably going to be a very close game. And then we get some night action. So really just want to highlight some of the CLV opportunities here as we're rolling through. Kentucky and Georgia should be a bloodbath. Georgia coming off of a rough one last week against Bama, so they got to bounce back. ISU, if you know me, you know this number right here, plus 115 is likely getting touch. I have been betting with this team all season long. Actually, you know what? Well, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? If you've been watching the program, you know what it is. It's a Rocco Beck season, and we are plus 115 on ISU to get it done. So let's get back into that. That's going to happen. You're going to see me fire randomly throughout the show. So first one is going to be ISU money line. Let's keep it rolling. My Badgers 17.5-point underdogs this week, going to the big house. I think Wisconsin's going to get smoked. I think they've shown exactly who they are this season. Illinois is going to have a chance to really beat up, I think, on Purdue. I don't hate them laying 9 in this situation. Air Force, Navy, not a whole lot to think about in that game for myself. Love fading KSU. Don't love the way Baylor calls plays. Eric and I have talked about it a few times this year. Baylor's play calling super suspect. Defense not nearly as good as a Dave Aranda defense should be. Army against UAB. I don't love that one. You do see a little bit of CLV available on the Black Knights if you want to pay the juice. flip-flop. You see the CLV this time on Boston College, as well as 3 points that have tipped in favor of that 6.5. They get Pitt this weekend. Should be an interesting matchup. In the MAC, we are inching closer and closer to MACtion. And when MACtion does rear its beautiful, beautiful head here in a few weeks, it is going to be a big part of this program. Right now, Ohio is laying 14.5 against Ball State. I am not going to touch this number, although we have been betting with the Bobcats all season. It is not one that I see fit. Clemson kind of in a weird spot, traveling to UNC, but laying 2 touchdowns. I don't hate the Tar Heels at this number. Not enough to bet them. Not much for UTSA Temple, Wake, Virginia Tech. Obviously, you see some nice closing line value on Wake Forest. Western Michigan and UMass should be an interesting one, as UMass is getting into MAC play. Oklahoma State is one of the worst teams in the country, but it was one of the few things we got right in college football last week. So I don't hate Oklahoma State plus 20 here. But I liked them a lot more last week. First week after a new coach, a little different. Penn State laying 24.5 against Nico and UCLA. UCLA. Tough. Texas against Florida. Texas laying 5 against the Gators. I don't hate Texas in this spot. You see the closing line value currently is on Texas. One that I do love, Vanderbilt's catching 10.5 at Alabama. Vandy has been pesky again this season after people thought they wouldn't be. This is a matchup we got excited about early on in the season, and it's kind of lost its shine. Notre Dame is hosting Boise State. They're laying 21 in kind of a blah matchup. Louisville and Virginia, you see some closing line value available on the Louisville money line, but nothing really there that I like. James Madison, large favorites against Georgia State. Oregon State, really tight underdogs, which is so sad, against Appalachian State. Washington, the Huskies, will be laying 6.5 against the Terps. I don't hate the Terps in that situation. Another MAC game, CMU and Akron. Not much there, as we're kind of rolling into a really barren 2:30 group of games. I looked through it already before we even started. You see Syracuse catching 17.5 against SMU. It's a blowout for the most part, or nothing. Nebraska's laying 11.5 against Michigan State. Slight closing line value there. Texas State, Arkansas State. Nothing really too much that I'm loving for the college football weekend, but that's kind of been a trend this season. Minnesota, I think, will not cover the 23.5 against Ohio State, so maybe you could play that. A&M is hosting Mississippi State. We'll see if Mississippi State is worth anything. This is the big one, Miami and Florida State. Personally, I lean Miami, especially after Florida State's loss last week. I don't think the Seminoles bounce back. I think that's actually the team that I kind of predicted at the beginning of the season. Going into our nightcap, it's Colorado and TCU. TCU's laying 13.5. Not much love on my side there. I don't hate Kansas in this spot against UCF, even though they're on the road laying 5. Not much for Tulsa, Memphis, Fresno, and Nevada. Duke laying 3 against Cal, I think, is a really favorable number for Duke in this situation. If that money line got tighter, I might consider playing that money line as a late night matchup. And then we get into future games. So that is kind of our run through on college football. We try to keep it pretty basic, pretty light, because again, this is more of an NFL centric show, but I want to make sure that I'm showing you all the available lines that are on betopenly.com. So as we make a shift, let me flip this over and add in my guy Fraud Isaac. Are we there, buddy?
Yo, what up?
What's going on, pal? Happy to have you back on. I know we missed you last week, but yeah, we had an interesting weekend, even though we didn't get a chance to stream together. For those of you that don't follow me on X, definitely do so. @_O'Kane___. Me and Propstradamus here decided to throw together a little ticket on Sunday night for the Packers and Cowboys, a little anytime touchdown action. And I'll tell you what, man, what a thrill. The game ended in a tie, but the boys had an absolute banger. Ends up being over 8 units combined.
Yeah,
that
I
was
should
fun.
probably check that. I think should probably have that in my account right now. I can send you
Oh
the
yeah.
half.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably cashed you out. But yeah, we put together a little anytime touchdown action.
What was it
Actually,
again? It was
it was
Dobbs,
Dobbs, Ferguson, Williams,
Jacobs.
and Jacobs.
No, it wasn't Williams. It was
Wasn't it Javante?
no.
Who
It
the
was
hell was
it was Jacobs, Dobbs, Ferguson, and Pickens.
Pickens, that's right.
Yeah.
He had Pickens. That's what juiced it to the absolute moon. I don't think Javante would have probably done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that was an absolute blast.
I think
Nope.
the Fergie and Dobbs touchdown is what gave us most of the
Well,
juice.
I'm
but-
just happy we weren't like what seemingly was every other better in the world that added Tucker Kraft into their parlays, because those were maybe the saddest people that I've ever seen.
There's
the
always
morning
Fergie,
after.
man.
Just butthurt because I think he went down at the 1 yard line twice. Yeah, it was always the Wisconsin kid against the Green Bay Packers.
I
for
saw
those of you-
so many tickets too.
Oh,
Like 100K. Like
oh, dude, the Matty Betts one was, I think, a $300,000, but it's $6,500 parlay. It's like, if you can afford the $6,500 parlay, I don't think it's that big of a sad thing that you lost the 300,000. But yeah, it was a hell of a game for parlays all over the place. But yeah, it felt good to leave Tucker Kraft alone, as that would have been a pretty sad state of affairs, I think.
yeah, and
for
we
all
were
of us.
also a Gary sack away too.
We had Rashawn Gary. You would imagine when Micah Parsons returns to his ex team that he gets double teamed, triple teamed, and that should open up the opposite pass rusher. It didn't at all. And
Man, if
that
we would have
was-
got that sack early, that would have
Oh.
hit.
It would have hit easy. But alas, the boys do end up a little short on that one. So, Isaac, I told you we are going to prop it up this week as much as we can. We've got about a half an hour before Eric hops on and we start talking more sides and totals. So I kind of want to run through game by game with you. I know you talked about wanting to put a prop on every game. I'd be shocked if you found one, but God bless you if you did. I want to start in London town. The Vikings are in London for the second week in a row against the Cleveland Browns. I personally found a prop to watch on Sunday morning, but before I get into it, what are your thoughts?
I think they have Jordan Mason's rushing yards too high.
Okay.
And the reason being is the Browns have allowed a total of like 262 rushing yards this year. And they think that he's going to clear 68. I don't know.
Mhm. I don't hate that. I've got so you got the under on that?
Yeah, I'm going to hammer Mason under 67.5. The Browns rush defense is just too good, man. That up front is crazy.
Yeah, the Browns front seven is hard to go up against, and that kind of plays into one of the things that I like. I think the Cleveland defense is going to limit a lot of the things that Minnesota does. I think we saw them do it against Green Bay. We saw them start to kind of do it against Detroit before things got a little bit out of hand. To me, I'm looking at a Vikings player as well going under. I've got Adam Thielen under 1.5 receptions. Now this is a juicy one. It is like minus 170 everywhere. But if you look over on my screen right now, Mr. Adam Thielen, and I don't think they've got the
Why is he so
closing-
low?
Well, I'll tell you why. I will tell you why, because he ran 12 routes last week in the 54 dropbacks that Carson Wentz had. Cleveland, like I said, I think they're going to limit the pass game. Gabriel is starting. I expect Minnesota to be in a position to be in a positive game state. I think a positive game state means that they're going to be running the football, which I don't think helps you a whole lot. But yeah, I just don't think Adam Thielen is a guy that anybody should be betting their hard-earned money on right now. Because oh wow, it's already up to 172. I locked this in today at minus 145. It is quickly going higher and higher because that target share is not good, and he is not running very many routes. Which obviously, if you're not running routes, you're not catching balls. So maybe not the best number to bet on with Adam Thielen, but I think you can get it with some of the prize pick apps and stuff like that. So, when a prop is minus 170 in the open market, yeah, it makes a lot of sense if you can get it in a prize picks, even if the odds are a little bit skewed. So That's all I got for that game. It's an ugly matchup. I feel bad for London. London doesn't deserve this. This is very, very ugly.
I might
So,
hammer Dylan Gabriel, throw a pick.
I think Dylan Gabriel throws multiple interceptions.
I hope he throws 3.
What kind of ladder can we put on Dylan Gabriel? I just want to see what his actual.
I hope he throws 3. I think it's time for Shedeur.
Oh, you think so? I don't
Yeah.
think so. Right now, it's minus 182 to throw 1 pick, so you're probably sitting even money or a little bit better to throw multiple for Dylan Gabriel in his debut.
First play of preseason.
Yeah,
Pick.
I know. He's one of those, dude. He's not exactly steady Eddie, and he's also, I mean, he's just really short, to put it bluntly. He's just a short guy, so we'll see how that works out.
Starting to get destroyed in the.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just saw Mac Jones, who's not a short QB, get his ball knocked down, and that was on like a 10-yard dig route. So these linemen just
they
get their hands up.
I saw a stat that Kyler Murray hasn't thrown for 250 yards since like week 14 of last season or something like that.
God damn, that's
yeah.
rough. Well, we're going to talk about them in just a little bit. The next one is going to be our first noon matchup. New York Giants traveling to the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart comes through with a big win in his debut. I'm sure. Did you see the AI edits of him and Dable making out? That was maybe one of my funniest things from the weekend that I saw.
Yeah, I did.
That was that's just good, clean fun. It's fucking A. The Yankees just took the lead. 1-0 New York.
Yeah, I got a good one for this game.
I love it. Let me hear it.
I'm gonna take the young gun and I'm gonna go 2 passing touchdowns with Dart.
Right on.
Not even just one. One is, I think, easy, but 2. Saints have allowed the most passing touchdowns this season, I believe it is, on defense. Let me check. Gotta check that. They are second, so they've allowed 9 passing touchdowns. Saints are horrible. I think Jackson Dart is that guy. I watched that whole game when he played against the Chargers, and
he's got it.
Dude, he looks good.
Whatever it is, I mean, whatever. I always kind of knew he had swagger, but I didn't know he could actually back it up like that in a game.
If you don't like that, I would look at Wan'Dale Robinson. He's going to be probably that guy now that Neighbors is hurt.
Sure.
You could look at his receptions or yards as well. I mean, they have his yards at 46.5. Dude can get that on 1 catch.
Yeah, let's take a peek. What do we got for Wan'Dale here?
I think Wan'Dale's volume is going to spike. I mean, you look at his first 2 weeks of the season with Neighbors, dude put up huge numbers.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I would look at maybe Wan'Dale or Dart to throw 2. Saints are garbage.
No, I don't disagree at all. Wan'Dale, over 5.5 plus 128. If you think he gets pumped, I like that number actually a lot. But yeah, I personally, I do have a bet in this game as well, and it's my second straight under. So we're staying super, super exciting. But I've got Spencer Rattler under 202.5 passing yards. I got that at even money. His yards per attempt, only Joe Flacco and Cam Ward have worse yards per attempt. Right now, he's got 5.8. And last season, this is a guy that could not face cover 1. The Giants run more cover 1 than anybody. Last year against cover 1, he completed 47% of his passes and had only 4.5 yards per attempt. This year, he's doing slightly better against cover 1, but I think he's going to have a really, really hard time. The defensive line for New York, I think, is outstanding. I don't think he's going to have time. They're 5th in total pressures. So yeah, I like Spencer Rattler going under the number. And I think we are like one really rough start for Spencer Rattler away from seeing Tyler Shuck. I mean, why not? The Saints have literally nothing to lose. They're going to be at home, so it wouldn't be a bad spot if they pull them. And if he pulls them, we win. So that's my bet for that one.
Yeah, I like that. Rattler's not, I don't know if he's that guy.
I'd be hard pressed if he was that guy. But, you know, if he is, he's going to have a hell of a story because he does not look anything near that guy right now.
You could probably dabble with a Cam touchdown too if you wanted to. I'm sure he'll score on the goal line.
You would think that's a pretty good opportunity. They really love what they've got in Cam Scatterby, which I don't know. I'm kind of like in and out on him. I don't think he's that special. I think he's seeking out a lot of contact right now, which is not a positive.
I think they like his energy. I think it's
Yeah, I mean the energy, the vibes.
But he does catch
culture.
every pass that's thrown to him too. I will say
Yes.
that.
He's got and we just had it up, over 2.5 receptions plus 135 for Cam Scatterby this week. So those opportunities are there, especially with Neighbors out.
Let him cook. I think he's got promise for sure.
Oh, he's got all the promise in the world right now. It's spicy whites.
He's definitely got the dog in him. We know that.
There's no doubt. No one is going to tell him he does not have the dog in him. I promise you that.
The coach was talking about how he screams on shit all the time.
Oh yeah, dude. His the Giants posted a compilation of him like showing up to practice. He just screams into the camera. He's a freak. What can you say? Cam Scatterby, freak of the week every week.
Freak of the week is crazy.
He's the freak of the week. So next one I want to talk about, I have no action, and it's going to be an interesting one. I wanted to look at one guy because Miami, obviously last week, Tyreek going out. That means that obviously Jalen Waddle is going to be the guy. And right now I'm seeing 65.5 receiving yards for him this week. And then reception wise, we are sitting at 5.5 at even money. I personally feel as though Jalen Waddle is got to be one of your not must bets, but it's definitely a guy that's got to be on your radar. You got to have an angle for Jalen Waddle this week.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. He's definitely going to be highly targeted. I definitely think that they're going to try to implement Malik Washington more as well now too.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I was trying to see what his rushing and receiving yards line is because they run Malik in the backfield and as wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. He's a do everything. I don't have any combo stuff here on Bet Openly, but
and he's the type of dude that'll out of nowhere just take you for 80 yards. I'm pretty sure he has a punt return for a touchdown this year as well, or a kickoff, one of the two.
Yeah, he's just another gadget guy for an offense that seemingly has plenty of gadget guys. Another one that had a big week, Darren Waller, his number at 30.5. You got to feel like they're going to somehow get the ball. I like Miami's receiving yards props. Almost every single guy I could really talk myself into at this point. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, Malik Washington at 31.5.
Yeah, 30.5.
That dude will catch 150-yard dart and it's covered.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. It's definitely, if you're looking at a group of guys you could target, Miami receivers are one of them.
But the only scary part is who's throwing that 50-yard dart.
Correct. So that's the problem, is you don't exactly know everything about that game. It's definitely a game that we'll probably be looking to bet.
Can Tua even throw 50 yards, man?
I think his national championship, that's an illegal shift. You can't run that play. Okay, they called it. I think Tua's national championship game winner was like right at 50 yards. So he can do it at least that, but
might be a little wobbly these days, but it'll make it there.
Might be a little wobbly, might take a little while to get there, but at the end of the day, it should work out just fine. But yeah, no, Miami's in a weird spot. I don't really know what to think of Miami, especially now.
The Panthers
Waddle injury.
The Panthers offense is one of the most dreadful I've watched.
Anemic, brother. That's what I would call it, is anemic.
You got dude just throwing the ball at the ground and all this shit. I don't even know. Bryce Young gave up, I think.
Bryce Young went from being maybe one of the most promising guys coming into the season after the way last season ended to being like, okay, so he was who we thought he was. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Because I mean, I look at Bryce Young. I mean, he was 18 of 30 for 150 yards last week. Yeah. I mean, Andy Dalton at least came in and was 5 of 6 for 58. So how quick of a trigger do we have on Bryce Young? I mean, he had, even in their game against Atlanta, which was a 30-0 game, he goes 16 of 24. He has 121 yards, no touchdowns.
So was it just, what
I mean, they're opener against Jacksonville.
Was it all defense that game?
Yeah, opener against Jacksonville, completes 51% of his passes, 2 picks, 1 touchdown. He had a decent game against Arizona in a game that they lost, and he threw the ball 55 times. So, yeah, no, I would say that Bryce Young has shown us next to nothing this season of what he could be.
Yankees bases juice with 1 out.
I know.
2-0.
My wife just texted me, said this game is not going the way we need it to go. For those of you that don't understand,
we'll be at 1
may be
p.m.
talking that way. We are both Brewer fans trying to go to the game on Saturday. Do you work Saturday?
No.
Oh, that's at least good. So you'll at least probably be able to go if the game's at 1.
Yeah,
but
I'm going regardless.
obviously, we would much rather have that be a night game. Would make, oh, God, and the Red Sox boot one into right field. That's going to be 2 runs at least. And it does appear that the Bronx Bombers are going to take game 3. What a disappointing way to go out for Boston. My God, you really had the Yankees on the ropes. Even last night, they lost the game in the 8th inning. I had Boston. Unfortunate. But no, we got to keep it focused, keep it football, right? Let's keep it moving though, because that game is really stinky and there's really no reason for us to stay on it. This is a game that's super interesting to me. I kind of want to hear your opinion on it, especially because obviously we watched Dallas together last week, and there's a lot of things that could be said about the Dallas Cowboys at this point in the season. Do you have any props? It feels like a game where I have one. I feel like I could have like 2 or 3, but what are your thoughts? Actually, I do have 2.
Oh man, I don't know if why I would take something like this, but dude, I might take Justin Fields over 185 passing yards, even though he's a running back.
You son of a bitch.
Even though he's a running back, you just can't ignore the fact that the Cowboys have allowed 1,237 passing yards this year.
Well, you can consider that one a squad ride, because I am all over Justin Fields over 185.5 passing yards, plus 104 on Bet Openly. 226 against Miami last week. He was 20 and 27, Isaac. He looked solid.
Yeah, and he's got Garrett Wilson. That guy's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he's got targets. He's got Breece Hall out of the backfield. He's outstanding.
When I saw what Garrett Wilson said today, did you see that about?
No, what did he say?
He said he doesn't care. He wants to win with the Jets. Like, he loves the city, this and that. I was scared to bet on Garrett Wilson because I thought he was like giving, like, on the brink of giving up on the team and stuff like that. But now it's like, okay, bro's locked in no matter what. They're 0-4. I
think they really like who's playing quarterback for them. They liked it when it was Tyrod Taylor, and they like it right now when it's Justin Fields. And Justin Fields gives them a great opportunity to win games.
They got to figure that shit out, man. But yeah, I'm taking Fields over 185.5. That Cowboys secondary is dog.
Dead last in drop back EPA yards per play. That Cowboy defense saw Russell Wilson go for over 450 yards, and less than 3 weeks later, he's retiring.
I'm thinking Fields throws like 213 yards. That's my guess.
I agree with you. I like Justin Fields in this spot. I think
it ain't gonna be like he's throwing 350 and 5 touchdowns, but he'll throw enough to cover the 185, I think.
I mean, just look at the injury report now for Dallas. I mean, it's Nealon, defensive line. He's got an ankle injury. Hooker's got a toe injury. Diggs has got the injured knee. Lamb's going to be out. Miles Sanders got a knee. Turpin's got a foot. Mingo's got a knee. Smith, offensive line's got a knee. I mean, Dak is going to be without 3 starting offensive linemen this week. That's why I think the other one that I want to pick in this game, and not that I think, I did pick it, it's Dak throwing a pick, plus 125, or plus 126 rather. No CD, no 3 starting linemen like I just talked about. He's had 2 road picks this season. He's thrown 38 picks in 48 outdoor games in his career. He's been the 3rd most aggressive quarterback, according to PFF. And the Jets, they have 0 picks in 4 games. This is what traditionally has been a solid defensive backfield. They're more than due for an interception. I think Dak Prescott to throw a pick is a really good spot here.
I like it.
I like it too. Well, and I'm going to talk to Eric a little bit later about some sides, and I got a bet in this one that is a little bit different than what some other people may be looking at. So definitely stay tuned. That is what we call in the business a tease. Moving down, we've got Denver and Philly. Philly is an interesting one. Philly laying 3.5. Total is 43. I immediately thought that the over was a play, but I do think you've got some prop opportunities here in this game. What caught your eye, if anything, in Denver and Philly?
Let me take a look. Let me pull it up real quick. That's an interesting game.
To me, immediately, I Denver's defensive backfield. So right now, Jalen, you'd be buying as low as you possibly can on Jalen Hurts. And if you wanted to take him passing yards, I think this is the week to do it. Denver has looked wildly pedestrian in the secondary for a team that in past seasons has looked outstanding. And you're getting Hurts right now at 191.5. It's not something that I took yet. I'm going to kind of wait this out and kind of see, because it's not really at that kind of total. I'm anything under 200. I'm still probably going to end up playing it, but interested to see exactly who's playing for both sides. I know there are some linebackers on the Denver side that are a little banged up. Dallas Goedert had a couple of touchdowns last week. Calcaterra, him both sidelined during the week. Calcaterra is sick. Goddard's working on a knee injury. Goddard was one of the actually top anytime touchdown looks, but I don't like him after 2 touchdowns last week. So, yeah, I mean, I like if I'm going to take anything, it's going to be Hurts. Last week he had 130 yards, 226, 101, 152. So it's a hold your nose if you're going to bet it, but that's the only one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah. Let me see what we got here. I like the. I mean, Hurts is at 185.5, same as Justin Fields.
Yeah. You would need a similar type game. And right now it's I'm trying to find a nice thing to say about the Denver defense, but it's very, very difficult at this point in the year.
They're like right in the middle on everything. It looks like
they are, but this is a group that was top 5 last year.
Yeah,
they had a
it's weird to
defensive
see.
player of the year playing with Surtain, and they're just not playing even close to what their potential says they should be playing at. So yeah, I think it's a lack of trust for me when it comes to Denver, but I think I would look at Jalen Hurts if anything. But to me, as of right now, the game's a full pass.
Yeah, it's looking like a full pass on that one, but I do like the Hurts angle.
Yeah. So a game that will be not featuring Lamar Jackson and a line that is consistently moving here in favor of the Houston Texans. Interesting matchup here. Not really anymore. Would have been if Lamar was playing, but he's not. Any props in this one that we could possibly take advantage of? The ones that are interesting to me is, can Cooper Rush do anything against this Houston Texan defense that looks unbelievable? I think Cooper Rush under passing yards is definitely a look at 175.
I'm looking towards Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter sack.
Okay.
Reason being is if you look at the statistics here, the Ravens have allowed 15 sacks, and that's with Lamar Jackson. So think of Cooper Rush now against Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson.
An absolute statue.
Honestly, what I would do is I would take both of them straight up, and then I would parlay Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter sack. That's what I would do. I
mean, you're talking about guys that I believe as of a week ago were 1 and 3 in pressures. Those guys are absolutely ridiculous. The best edge pairing in the league. And I would say they're even better than what we got in Green Bay.
So think of it. You got 15 sacks allowed. You got no Lamar Jackson now. So you got Lamar Jackson's legs still getting sacks 15 times. So now you got Cooper Rush with nowhere near Lamar's legs against a line that's been struggling against 2 animal defensive ends. I'm taking both of them straight sack, and I'm parlaying them.
I absolutely love the way that you're looking at that. One that kind of comes to my mind, I've got it pulled up right now. It's CJ Stroud. He's slowly getting better throwing the football as we move along here.
Did you see what he said? He said, I just feel like I'm getting old. I'm losing athleticism. Bro, you're 23. That's not that old. I mean, you should be striving. You should be getting better.
You should be, You should be getting more athletic.
Yeah.
Like you peak, I think, at 27.
I think slow down when you hit the 30s, brother, not the 23s.
That's brutal. But hey, if anyone ever listens to CJ Stroud talk, it's not exactly Super.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
Caleb Williams gave him a cold shoulder after that one game, and ever since then, Stroud hasn't done anything.
That's kind of a sad fact.
Remember that? Remember that?
I do. That was overblown at the time, and I think now we're gonna look back at it and we're gonna be like,
Caleb
huh.
Williams just shakes his head like, "Yep, sounds good," and then just dips.
It says head for the hills. Next one, we've got Vegas and Indianapolis. Indianapolis laying just under a touchdown. The Colts did have their fire put out last week in a loss. I have kind of a goofy one that I want to lead us off with. I'm going to the kickers in this matchup, and I'm looking at Spencer Schrader, a guy that people haven't really talked about, but he's 4-0 to the over this year on his over 1.5 field goals. He's 13 of 14 on the year. Vegas, they are 4th in opponent touchdown percentage in the red zone. That's 38%. And despite Indianapolis's dominance, they're 25th in touchdown percentage in the red zone at just 47. I think this all points towards our guy Spencer having a big day. I've got Spencer on my card, 0.6 units to win a half. That's my super fun angle for that game.
All right. This is an interesting game. Danny Dimes coming in. I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah, it's hard. You don't have to beat up the bush. It's not that interesting of a game. I thought it was going to be. I thought Geno was not going to be dog shit. Geno just might be dog shit, which sucks. Daniel Jones, I think, is more coming down to earth of what we would expect Daniel Jones to be after last week, but I believe he's still 2nd in the league in passing, which is just mind-boggling. But yeah, I'm not going to force anything outside of my kicker bet in this game. It's I don't even know who I would zero in on. I'd probably zero in on Jonathan Taylor just for the fact that out of everyone that I wanted to bet on props this week, he's like the only one that isn't sitting on somebody's injury report. So I don't hate him in this spot. And I think his numbers right around 90. Yeah, 90.5 at plus 108. So I don't hate Jonathan Taylor there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get too excited for that one.
Yeah, me neither.
It's not worth my time, I don't think. But if you're gonna look at something, Jonathan Taylor over yards is definitely one that I don't hate. Oops. And let's move down because I just realized I'm on the wrong. There we go. Let's move to Tennessee and Arizona. Arizona laying 7.5. Cam Ward, we've kind of talked about a little bit thus far on the program. Whoops. Where did I go here? I keep opening.
They asked.
Yeah.
We asked.
We asked. Put it on a fucking t-shirt. I mean, we asses. Dude, this site is tweaking. Absolutely.
We ass is hilarious. Oh man,
hey,
it was so funny.
You got to kind of respect a guy's ability to at least read the room and be like, hey, if I say something that doesn't even sound remotely, real, I'm going to get fucking grilled for it. So we ass.
At least he wasn't wrong.
Right. And everything that we've seen thus far this season, he is absolutely not wrong. What I'm doing right now is I'm opening up the anytime touchdown score because one guy that I kind of had circled is Trey McBride. Tennessee, currently their linebackers are 30th in the league in coverage rate. They stink. And Trey McBride is solid for plus 144. I don't hate Trey McBride, and I don't hate Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison decided that he can play football, which is outstanding for Cardinals fans. They're besides themselves that he's not ass. So I like Harrison and McBride to score touchdowns in this game. If you are backing Tennessee and don't look at Tony Pollard against Arizona's run defense, because that's the one thing Arizona can confuse a lot of quarterbacks. They are not super physical up front. I would look at Tony Pollard possibly. I don't think I could really get behind. Did not realize Chimere Dike is on the depth chart. Big shout out for the ex-Badger / Florida Gator. Come on, Boston. Show some fucking heart. This is unreal. He almost got thrown out at second base. Yeah, that's just me getting some steam off. But yeah, in this game, is there anything that you point to? What are your thoughts on Kyler? You talked about Kyler and his passing yards.
Yeah, I'm taking his rushing yards.
You're taking his rushing yards. What do you got for a line at rushing yards?
29.5.
29.5 rushing yards for Kyler Murray.
That boy fast.
Ooh, how about 27.5 on Bet Openly if you wanted at plus money?
That boy fast.
That boy is fast. That boy skedaddles. That is he doesn't run. Kyler Murray skedaddles.
They are on the brink of allowing 600 rushing yards this year. If you told me that Kyler Murray didn't get 30 against that dog water defense,
the only thing
I'd
you
be
got to
very
hope for
surprised.
is that you don't get into just an absolute positive game state and he doesn't have to do anything with his legs. But no, when you're looking at QBs, Kyler has done a good job kind of balancing that part of his game. He's been
I think
super
he
active.
tries to do that no matter, like, you know what I mean? Like, he tries to.
Yeah, he wants to do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I respect that. I mean, Kyler, when Kyler Murray is at his best, it's when he's running the football. Like, there's absolutely no reason that Kyler should not have that as 30% of what he does on a regular basis. I'm just looking to see what his rushing yards totals this year. So you could get involved in the one that I've kind of thought was interesting. So through 4 weeks, they have underprojected his passing rushing yard combo number. He's gone under all 4 weeks, which is really, really interesting. He's closing all of these numbers right around 250. He's really sitting a lot closer to 200 on average. So that is one that I don't hate going under. But to your rushing yards talk, over. He's needed 23.5 to 29.5 in each game, so they have adjusted it up, but he's cleared it. He's cleared this number every single game, and he's cleared it by 4.5 to 5 yards. So I don't hate Kyler in that situation going with over the rushing yards.
And I mean, never know. He could have a situation where he does that in one play. I mean, he's very capable of it.
See, that's the thing, and I think the reason that I like I like the NFL quarterback rushing prop and why we took Jackson Dart last week is sacks don't count against you. In college, that shit sucks. That you get screwed by that on a very consistent basis. Whereas in the NFL, it's just a lot more safe. So looking for Kyler to get his fifth straight week going over his rushing total. Another 3 o'clock game, a game that I do not have any props for. I do have an opinion on that I'll touch base on later. There is one guy that I am zeroing in on this game. I haven't gotten to the point of betting on it yet. I want to get your opinion. It is my boy, Egbuka. Egbuka, I believe, is ascending quickly. And we saw it in the preseason. A lot of the stuff that came out of camp is that he looked like the best receiver in Tampa. And that was taking Mike Evans and Godwin into account. So he's kind of shown already through the first few weeks that he could be a number one in this league. It's just going to come down to, is Baker going to get him the football? Baker's been throwing the ball a lot this year, but last year I think he averaged somewhere around 39, 38 attempts. This year that number is a lot closer to 30 than it is 40. So the opportunities aren't there as much, but we saw Bucky Irving go down last week, and Bucky Irving was not walking through that door. So it's tough.
So he's ruled out.
Right. No, he's 100% ruled out. He went down last week. He's out. So yeah, no Bucky. I think the offense goes to the pass game. Seattle this season, and just kind of looking defensively against the pass. Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong deal here. Yeah, they're kind of right in the middle. You know, they're looking at 207 passing yards against per game. They do allow a very high completion percentage at 66. So, yeah, I think if you zeroed in on anybody in that game, it'd be Egbuka. I will say I got to shout out whatever Seattle's doing is right. They've got one of the shortest injury reports I've seen of anybody, whereas Tampa Bay takes up almost my entire screen. By the way, big shout out Baker Mayfield. This is the third week with the third different injury that he has made the injury report. I believe it was a toe It was last week was a shoulder. This week, Baker is on there for a knee. So Baker Mayfield is the new Ben Roethlisberger, for those of you that haven't heard. So bake. What an interesting character he is. But yeah, any props in this game that you want to touch base on before we keep her moving?
Let me see here. I do like the Mbuka angle with Bucky out. Is who's all their wide receivers?
So you're gonna have really it's gonna be Godwin, Egbuka, and Otten are gonna be your
Okay.
three top go-tos.
Evans is out.
Correct. Evans will
Okay.
be out.
Oh, okay. Is this the first week Godwin's back?
Godwin was back last week.
Okay.
Yep. So you got
Dude, yeah,
Godwin back
Egbuka's
in the
him,
second
man.
week.
I might sprinkle a little bit on anytime touchdown.
I don't hate
I
that
think
either.
I think they're gonna try to keep that train rolling now that it's been like 4 weeks in a row. They're at the point where it's like, why not? Let's try to keep giving him the ball and
Hey.
have him keep scoring.
Plus 161 at the moment. So
They might as well try to give their boy offensive rookie of the year at this point.
Yeah, no shit. It's like at this point you've
Might as
pumped
well.
him this much. He's kind of getting the Chris Olave treatment a little
Just
bit.
hopefully
for-
minus the medical tent part of it. But
Yeah, no shit. Knock on wood for our boy. Washington and the Chargers will kind of fly through these last few games as we've got Eric ready to come off the bench. Anything for Washington and LA for you?
let's see what we got here. Washington and LA.
Aiden Daniels back
Daniels.
this week.
He's back.
He's
That's what I
back.
saw. Yeah, okay. I don't know how it's gonna pan out with him being back, but I like Hampton. Receiving yards.
Okay.
I feel like they're trying to go to him a lot and try to work him into the offense.
Sure.
Let me see what his rushing at. He's got a high rushing. 22.5 receiving. What do you think about that?
Yeah. The problem that I'm going to run into this week is I don't know what Washington's going to look like offensively.
The good thing is it looks like the Commanders have allowed about 1,100 passing yards this year already. Just
Oh yeah,
worse.
the commies
So-
defense is a problem. They thought they had it fixed. They don't.
So I like Hampton. Clinton Johnson is
Had
showing that he
Hampton
might.
last week.
Clinton
that was
Johnson's
awesome.
showing that he might be that guy.
He could be. He's trending in the right direction, which is always positive. But yeah, prop wise, nothing I could
Jeez,
really
they have
recommend.
They have Johnson, Ladd, and Keenan all around 60 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you have three very capable receivers. I mean, LA went from having absolutely no receivers to being chock loaded with receivers. So
Yeah, I mean they got a deep threat, Quentin.
a little bit of everything. Lions Bengals. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole because I think the game state can be completely out of control in favor of Dallas. So I'm not gonna.
I got one for you.
Or not in favor of Detroit, rather. What's yours?
Just take Hutch to get a sack.
Hutch to get a sack.
Yeah, Bengals
What?
offense is dog.
I get Hutch to get a sack. I don't know if I got defensive props on here. I don't.
Defense right there. Oh, okay.
Nah, she's blurred. She's blurred.
Yeah, they know he's getting 3.
That's why. And then we've got Patriots, Bills, Chiefs, Jags. Either one of those for those games. It'll be a interesting.
Jags, you could have a little bit of fun with. You could put Mahomes tutty because why are they intercepting every pass?
Yeah.
They have 9 interceptions this year.
That's apparently all they can do is just turn people over.
So I don't know. Patty Mahomes' pick against the Jags. I mean, they've picked. What is that? This will be game 5. They have 9 picks. Dude,
they're averaging north of 2 interceptions a game, and we've seen Mahomes susceptible to throwing interceptions at times. So, yeah, if you want Pat Mahomes interception, it's plus money. So
it's crazy to fade Pat Mahomes, but you got to look at the trends and stuff here. It's like they just grab everything, no matter who the quarterback is.
Nobody got rich fading Patrick Mahomes. But Isaac, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. We've got props coming out of our ears. Make sure you follow him. We will be posting all of our plays for the weekend, and we're getting it ripping, man. It's a good time. We're in the thick of things right now. We got a lot going on. So before you get out of here, anything you need to plug? You guys, Vault of Legends, had a big break last night.
Yeah, Vault of Legends, nice break last night. You got a nice card, Ron Holland, auto.
Yeah.
Bunch of other stuff. But yeah, we're gonna have probably stream. I probably won't be streaming this weekend now with the Brewer game, but
yeah,
I'll be back. I'm gonna get a pre-order of the new Topps basketball tomorrow when it drops. So
those are the ones with the actual licensing on it, right?
Yeah, actual jerseys and stuff.
It's very funny to go through Topps Finest, which is one of like the nicest cards that you can get, and just like no jerseys or logos.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, but now it will be jerseys and logos and Wemby autos, flag autos.
Wemby auto is going live.
Flag autos, yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one. Well, appreciate you coming on, man. Always
appreciate
talking props with you. That is our boy Fraud. And we will bring to the stage off the bench my guy Eric over at ETOF 21 Sports. How are we, my friend?
Dude, we're doing good, man. No stress. Thursday night game. My prop already hit. I'm
nice.
What
was the move tonight for you?
Mr. Kendrick Bourne over 37.5 yards receiving and second quarter winner, dude. Can't get much less stress than that. And just kind of,
you gotta love that. I'm currently sitting here. I teased San Francisco up to 14.5, so I'm feeling good where I sit at the moment.
Tigers won.
Yeah, big one for the Tigers.
Big win for my Tigers, and you know what? Don't judge me for what I'm going to say. I sold my Brewers tickets for a nice little profit over on Saturday, so I can't.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I
don't doubt it. We Isaac, who was just on, him and another guy that I know will be sitting behind home plate for the low price of $500 a ticket. I will be at best, if Boston can come back to win, be buying SRO seats for me and my bride to walk around and bop around to the different areas. But it looks like New York's going to win, which means I'll be watching it at work on Saturday. Can't wait. Love that.
What's the score in that? But I don't even know what's going on in that
4-0 Yankees, top of the 6th. Boston's got a man on with Yoshida at the plate, but yeah, it's not looking promising. But yeah, that's all the update I've got. Pretty solid betting weekend for yourself. For
great day on Sunday. Can't really complain. My only blemish was, of course, the Raiders, which knocked me out of Circa. And then when you look at the post-win expectancy and all the advanced analytics, they should have ran away with that game. Monday was a little rough. Monday, I had the Jets, and you have a lovely Dolphins t-shirt coming your way, my friend.
Thank you.
And I had the Bengals, but I did have Garrett Wilson over, so I did hit the Garrett Wilson over. So
nice.
I can't complain because the Jets should have won that game, but we'll get into that later.
That's totally you're not wrong, but yes, we will get into that game later. We are going to start, as we always do this time of year, we're starting over the pond, my friend. We've got the Minnesota Vikings. 2 weeks straight. Every single person that likes the Vikings that I've talked to, this is driving them crazy. 2 weeks straight for the Vikings. They're laying 3.5 against the Dillon Gabriel Cleveland Browns. The total is an ugly 36. I had talked with Isaac. I have Adam Thielen under 1.5 receptions at this game. Got it at 145. It is up to 175. Okay. So that is borderline unbettable. The fun one on that one, he ran 12 routes out of 54 dropbacks for Wentz last week. So just not getting any sort of love. But what are your thoughts here on a side? I lean taking the points with such a bad Minnesota team, but I don't like Dillon Gabriel.
No, I hate Dillon Gabriel, and he's the main reason why I'm not taking this. Going against the Flores defense, 6 in pressure rate. Is he going to panic? That's going to be the main thing. It's left-handed. People need to realize when it's a left-handed quarterback, everyone's responsibility in the line is different. The ball spins differently. That may seem like minute stuff, but that's actually kind of a big deal. Flip side, Vikings offensive line, is it healthy? I was looking at the injury report. They could potentially be have their third center starting against the Browns team, which is elite up front, great at bringing pressure. When I was looking at trends, O'Connell is only 35% against the number off a loss because Stefanski coach team 71% off a game when the opponent scores 30 points. Minnesota does allow 130 on the ground, 27th DVOA against the run. That kind of got me to some Judkins overs, but when I looked at it, there's 70.5, which is way too overpriced for me. If this balloons up to like a 4.5, I think that would be my buying point for the Browns. But at the end of the day, I'm just not going to do anything.
It's an ugly one. Isaac and I talked about it. What did the Brits do to deserve this matchup? Because my God, we've sent them some ugly matchups overseas, but Carson Wentz against Dylan Gabriel, that might take the cake. So, but yeah, like you said,
Dylan Gabriel is starting, and like in his press conference, he's like, he is low key petty, and throws shade at other people, and it's
he's got weird vibes.
You're not that good. Like, I get you want to see what you got with him. My thing is they're not that bad. Like when you look at Cleveland defensively, they're not that bad.
Nope.
Offensively, if the offensive line can stay healthy,
if their quarterbacks aren't turning the ball over right now, your QB's got a touchdown interception split of 3-6. So if you don't turn the ball over, you got a lot different ball games.
So I don't know. I think they're a lot closer than people realize. And another thing to remember is Wentz is god awful against the blitz. Looks down as wide receiver. Honestly, I'm kicking myself for not taking the Steelers last week. I had to grind out the Hutchinson over. I don't, for as good as O'Connell is, sometimes I just don't understand what he does, if that makes sense. Like,
no, there's definitely some times that you scratch your head.
Cannot defend tight end at all. They weren't guard. He didn't have his first target till the third quarter. I don't know. I just didn't understand the game plan and what he was trying to accomplish.
No, it's every now and again. As good as much as people prop him up, it still makes you scratch your head at how he does game plans sometimes. So that is all we've got for London. Let's move to the Giants and the Saints. Jackson Dart, game 2. Were you impressed by the rookie in game 1?
You know what? I ended up taking them plus the 7 and on the money. I really wish I had Kendrick Bourne over 100 yards because he is shredding right now. But teams coming off winning a game as a 6 to 6.5 point dog, because that's where they closed at, or 40% against the number. Saints are really good against the run. Now, without Neighbors there, the Giants going to be able to move the ball. I'm not really the biggest Cam Scatterboo guy. I don't think his running style equates to the NFL level. I was really hoping to get points with the Saints. I thought this was going to be a great opportunity to fade them after the Giants after that win, but I don't really trust the Saints to win with margin. Taysom Hill's coming back. What is that going to look like? How is that going to play into the offense? Are we going to see some RPOs with him playing quarterback? I don't really want to do anything here. Like if the Saints were even money, a pick 'em or getting points, I'd be investing again, but trusting them to win with margin is not something I want to be invested in.
Well, if you like the Saints money line and you like it at minus 110, she's over on Bet Openly, ready to be taken. No, in this phone call season.
Sorry, buddy.
That's all good. That's all good. Isaac was eating today during our stream, so I had to text him. I'm like, "Are you fucking eating right now, bro?"
Sorry, man. Sorry.
It's all good. The professionalism is not exactly where the stream excels, anyways. All right. Let's talk next one, because I didn't have much that I wanted to go through in the Giants and the Saints. Actually, I do take it back. I completely lied. I am taking the under. I got it at 42 before it dropped down to 41.5. I just personally think that the Giants are going to have that kind of success 2 weeks in a row is not going to happen. So I forget. I did bet the under in this game, and then I talked about it with Isaac. I bet Spencer Rattler under 2.5 or 202.5, just because I think we are like one bad quarter from seeing him hit the bench. So I'm going to keep riding the Rattler under.
Okay.
What was the other one? I actually had a stat that I wrote down that I was doing my nerd stats and I found one that I thought you would love. So let me find this. Rattler against cover 1. So the Giants played the most cover 1 in the NFL last season. completed 47% of his passes for 4.5 yards per attempt. So yeah, under 202.5 is the number that I got on Rattler. So I did end up having two bets in that game after all. Miami and Carolina. This is a game I keep slamming my head against the wall because I have no idea if I want to get involved at all. Are you backing anybody in this game? Do you like anything?
I have two bets. Number one, look, I know Chuba Hubbard set out practice in rushing. I really believe he does play. And I locked it in. I took over 54.5 rushing yards. Dolphins are awful against the run.
Miserable.
They're 25th against the run per DVOA. They're allowing 158 yards per game, third most in the league. Last week, the Jets had 97 yards on the ground, 7 yards per carry. Now, look, Hubbard has only gone over this total, I know, in 2 of 4 games. But those other 2 games were game flow dependent. That's why he didn't go. He didn't go over against the Patriots, didn't go over against the Cardinals. That's because they got down so much and were forced to pass. He has a 52% carry share, leads the Panthers in rushing yards per game, and carry share. I think the Panthers are going to lean on the run game here. Dolphins defensive line is absolutely brutal. I also took the Panthers here plus 1.5. Carolina's coming off a 29-point loss, but don't let that fool you. They actually outgained New England in yardage, first down, rushing, passing, and to me, that's a signal. And then when you look at the trend of teams coming off a 28-point loss, cover at 55% of the time over the last 20 years as underdogs, climbs up to 59. I think this matchup sets up well for Bryce Young. He really struggles handling pressure, and Miami simply just doesn't generate a bottom tier in the league in pressure rate. When kept clean, Young has been accurate efficiently, especially at home. The Dolphins, Mac Jones is done, dude.
I was just gonna say, what did I just watch? That's his bad knee too.
Martinez time. Young has been accurate and efficient, especially at home. The Dolphins also ranked 5th.
Martinez, as in like
Adrian Martinez from
Kansas. Nebraska Martinez.
Yep, there he is.
Holy shit.
25th in run defense, allowing 158. That gives Chuba Hubbard, as I mentioned, a favorable matchup. If he can't go it, old Rico Dowling is there. I think that's going to allow Carolina to stay balanced. Offensively, Miami took a big hit. No Tyreek Hill. He accounted for a third of their air yards without him. Explosive plays are going to drop by 40%. I love Jalen Waddle, but he doesn't stretch the field. He's just more of a zone sitter. Carolina's defense ranks top 15 in run stops, top 10 in third down and red zone. It's going to build to slow down this offense, force it to dink and dunk. Miami, short week after a primetime game in which, let's face it, they probably should have lost. I mean, the Jets just were constantly shooting themselves in the foot. Possible Luka spot with the Chargers on deck.
No, I don't hate it. The only angle that I'm looking at in this game, and I'm interested to kind of throw this one out to you. I kind of like, so there's a few things I look at. I like Miami in the first half of this game, and it's for a few reasons. There's a few things that I think Mike McDaniels does well, and those few things it's a pretty short list. I do think that he has a pretty solid 2-minute offense, and I do think when he scripts well. So I think Miami in the first half is not a bad look. The Panthers, not great at scoring the first half. They've actually gone under their team total at home in 7 of their last 9 games. They've also not covered their first half spread in 13 of their last 19. And first half money line, they've only came out of the first half leading in 4 of their last 19 games. Just not a team that traditionally comes out very strong, especially with Bryce Young. Not strong enough to where I'm probably betting it quite yet. But yeah, my one angle was Miami in the first half. But nothing.
If you want to do that, like you can throw a little scratch on Miami
first half Carolina game. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking fun bets. All right, let's keep it moving because I do have a bet in this one. The Cowboys are laying 2 against the Jets this weekend. You talked about the Jets. So if you liked the Jets last weekend, thought they looked good, I would imagine you kind of like the Jets this weekend against Dallas.
I do. I gave this one out earlier in the week. on my show at 3. I still like it at 2, 2.5. Jets should be 3-1, 2-2. When you look at their metrics last week against the Dolphins, they dominated the game, outgained them by 100 yards. They had 7.1 yards per play, more first downs, more passing yards, more rushing yards, but lost because of self-inflicted maroons. Also, they're -7 in turnover differential, which is absolutely insane. They have 0 takeaways, so they're obviously due for a turnover. Meanwhile, Dallas is coming off an emotional shootout game against Green Bay where they tied the Packers. Classic overreaction spot. Historically, Dallas coming off scoring 40 points or more has covered just 42% of the time the last 7 years. Now, another thing I like to look at is when it's a short week, I like to look at to see how many plays a team was on the defensively for. They're on defense.
Yeah, gas the defense can be in a short week. I like that.
So, I mean, they were on defense. I'm pulling up right now. I believe it was 80 plays. I'm not sure.
Jesus, 80 plays?
79.
Wow.
So
that's a college game.
Yeah. So, I mean, on a short week, that is a quick turnaround. Matchup wise, this isn't the same Dallas defense without Parsons. Their pass rush is average at best, bottom 12 in sacks and hurries. This is Justin Fields' time to operate against the defense that's dead last in pass DVOA, allowing 420 yards per game, giving up 24, 37, 31, and 40 points. Fields, for as much shit as he got, and he is insanely better this year against zone, and that's what the Eberflus defense is. The Jets defense ranks top 10 in red zone and third down efficiency, with Breece Hall running behind. In my rankings, a top 10 offensive line. Sure. I think run blocking, the pass protection is there. And then also, Bland is not what he used to be. Garrett Wilson is right now, in my eyes, operating at a top 5 wide receiver level. I think he is going to eat against this back 4. I absolutely love the Jets. Give me the Jets here. Anything over 2.
Love that. So I'm assuming, Isaac and I had one prop. So we put our props together and we don't talk. We want to make sure that it's as organic, as similar to how you and I kind of do the spreads and totals. We both like Justin Fields over 185.5 as far as passing yards go this week. Cowboys dead last in drop back EPA yards per play. He had 226 against Miami. He was a little bit later in the game. Obviously, they were in a negative game state, so they had to throw a little bit more, although that didn't look like they wanted to. And it's a Cowboys defense that we saw Russ throw 450 yards 3 weeks ago, and now he is on the brinks of retiring. So it's like, I don't think very much of the Cowboys. Obviously, my side watching them tie my Packers last week was rough. But yeah, I kind of am with you. I think highly of the Jets. I think the Jets, I said it going into the season, I think the Jets are going to overperform. I think they've done okay right now. Obviously, you're not winning games, which is at the end of the day, that's the bottom line.
I bet they're over. And I went through where I had them at 1-3 at this point.
Okay.
And
I don't think they're far off from where people thought they were going to be. I mean, it's not like they had any super shocking losses.
And when you look at their schedule, I mean, their schedule opens up. I mean, they got the Panthers, they got the Bengals, they got the Browns, the Patriots.
Justin Fields got to inherit Aaron Rodgers, third-ranked divisional schedule.
You know what I mean? They still have the Saints on deck. You know, they have winnable games on deck. So, I mean, I'm invested in the 6.5. I'm not, another 49er. I'm not worried at all about having that over at all.
No, I personally think the Jets, like you said, Miami, that game could have gone either way. Tampa Bay, that game could have gone either way. The Buffalo game, whatever. And then the Pittsburgh game could have gone either way. So a 2-point loss to a playoff team in Tampa, a 2-point loss to what looks like a playoff team in Pittsburgh, and a 6-point loss in a game that you probably should have won against Miami. You don't like to say a happy 0-4, but if you're a Jets fan and you're freaking out beyond belief right now, I just think you can probably relax because, like you said, I think there's definitely brighter games ahead. So, yeah, winnable games for sure. Jets fans, you're going to win probably 2 of your next 4 to 3 of your next 4 games. So, wins are coming. Moving down the line. Oh, sorry. One thing I wanted to get to in that game. Hold on, let me pull up my exact number. I want to make sure that I'm not pissing down my leg here as I dun, da, da, da. So I'm going to continue to roll with this, and I've been doing it all season. I'm going Jets, Cowboys second half over 23.5.
Okay.
Both of these teams are top 5 in second half scoring and bottom 5 in second half scoring against. Just seems like it takes a little while for both teams to get going. I think we are going to have a similar shootout type game that we saw last week that could start a little bit slow. The Jets seemingly like to try to get the run game started as we go. So I like the second half total in that one. I forgot I did want to mention that. Going to continue to bet second half Jets totals because they have been just magnificent all season long. But yeah, that was the only action that I had in that one. This is a game that I do not have an opinion on. I'm hoping you do, and you can point me maybe in the right direction. Eagles laying 3.5, total in 43 here in Philly against Denver. Where do you stand?
I have nothing here.
Damn it. No one can give me clarity on this game.
Barkley is averaging less than 3 yards per carry in the second.
Broken.
I caught a lot of flack when I said I was betting his under 1,400 yards rushing, and I told everyone not to draft him in fantasy football.
Sure.
I'm not doing my victory lap yet, but I'm almost there.
I was going to say it's probably slightly early, but no, you're absolutely on the right track.
Lane Johnson looks like he's not going to go. He's big to that offensive line. With him not there, they really do struggle. What's going on with A.J. Brown? This could be one of that quote unquote bounce back game for him when, the squeaky wheel gets it. Surtain, I don't know if Surtain can be as physical with Brown because Brown is that big physical guy. Also, I'm not in my eyes, Bo Nix is the Halliburton of the NFL. Just the front runner. Like anytime he's behind, because when we saw it in the Chargers game, he can't throw the ball downfield. How many open wide receivers did he miss down the field? If he could beat a pass, he could do something. He is more of the dink and dunk out of the backfield type of guy. I want nothing to do with this game. Like absolutely nothing. If the Broncos win this game, I'm going to fade the shit out of them next week.
Fair enough. This next one, I'm going to need you to talk me off this if you really believe it. I've got 1.65 units. I got Houston at minus 110 earlier in the week. I bet you're betting I bet you're going to bet Baltimore. That seems like a you bet.
I have nothing in this game. I do not want to touch this game. We got CMU's finest, Cooper Rush, on the helm. What's the offense going to look like? My thought is they're going to lean on Henry Moore, and the Texans defense has been absolutely brutal against the run. We may see him throw the ball a little bit more to the outside. He can spin the ball. And we need to remember what happened when he came in after Dak was hurt. I believe it was last year. Everyone had them. They're going to get their asses kicked by Minnesota. Didn't he drop like a 40 burger up in Minnesota? So Rush has been around the block. He can spin the ball. Texans, they have no run game. Will they give the ball to Woody Marks, who looks way better than Nick Chubb, who he just obviously isn't himself? Nico Collins, in my eyes, is broken. Bobby Slugwig got ran out of town because DeMeco Ryan thought the offense should be one thing.
It was the ultimate scapegoat, and it's looking like they were all wrong.
If they still had Sludwig, I think this offense would be kicking a lot better. Collins' production is insanely down. And CJ Stroud hears footsteps. In my eyes, I cannot do anything in this game. And I do not want to do anything in this game.
Yeah, so for me it was Cooper Rush having to go up against this Texans defense. They rank currently 7th against the pass in total yards. QBR, they're 3rd. Opposing QBs have a 73.3 QBR this season. I do know that yes, Cooper Rush has been around the block, and I would never ever talk down on such a Mac legend. But at the same time, I really do think this defense for Houston is as for real as it gets. They do have a few guys that are a little banged up that I don't love to see. Autry, Reed, Stingley, all on the report, as well as Will Anderson, but that was just rest. Isaac and I kind of talked about it. The thing that we looked at is Will Anderson sack this week. It feels like a beautiful opportunity against a guy like Cooper Rush and an offensive line in Baltimore that has been pretty banged up and is continuing to be banged up here this week. It looks like they've got multiple starters. Ronnie Stanley's still working through things. But yeah, I personally think that it is all Houston in this game. It's by far my largest wager of the week. I'm just happy that you're not sitting on the other side. I was ready to go for another t-shirt bet, but I didn't need to add that on top of the $1.65 I already have sitting.
Injury regression. People always talk to me about injury regression. I'm the biggest thing about injury regression. It is real, and we're seeing it right now with Baltimore. They have been one of the healthiest teams, and they
every single year. What do you hear going into the playoffs?
Yeah, they're dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm. It couldn't be worse right now. If you're a Baltimore fan, and I feel for you, this has to be just gut-wrenching to be where you're at, because here's the deal in the NFL. Cincinnati's realizing it right now. Windows close, and they close fast, and they slam shut. And Baltimore, you got an aging running back. You got a quarterback that relies a lot on his legs that is banged up. Yeah.
Did you see this play? How did they not rule that a fumble?
Let me see if I can catch a replay here. Looks like he just clean hit it with the shoulder, no?
Yeah, how do they not?
I don't know, man. The referees have been kind of on
like, unless they ruled like he was like stopped, like before momentum stopped, but
yeah, that's the only, and that is maybe the worst ruling that you can ever possibly get, is if you get the momentum whistle, because there's 0% chance you're getting anything happening after that, and they jumped. But no, let's keep it moving to a game that I have a prop for. And I also have Indianapolis under 28.5 as far as a team total this week. I just don't think Indy is going to continue to do what they've done offensively. Vegas, I'm not saying that their defense lights the world on fire, but outside of a shitty week against Washington, they're averaging about 20 points per game against Indy. You saw the regression last week against Los Angeles after a big-time blowout against Tennessee. What are your thoughts in this? Is Indy's not for real, right?
I have a pretty juicy bet on Indy to win the South. I really like what I saw for them so far. But in this spot, I have 2 bets in this game. I took the Raiders. I got it at 7. Since 2020, the week after a team loses its first ATS game of the year, 45%. And then when you just look at that's the last 20. When you look at the last 10, 43%. Teams 5th game or later, these teams coming off an undefeated ATS are just 35% against 2012. When you look at Smith, his splits, better indoors than outdoors, then this is the thing that really stood out to me. I was looking at red zone efficiency in terms of giving up touchdowns. The Colts are the worst.
Really?
Jones, 44% ATS as a favorite. Howard retired, and the Colts literally had no idea that was happening.
Nope.
Now that is going to change what they're going to do defensively. They have a rookie from Tulane whose name I'm spacing on, who doesn't do good with physicality. He is going to be thrust into the spotlight. I really think this is a bad matchup for him and the secondary guys of the Colts. Teams coming off a -3 turnover difference in the last 20 years as the the Raiders did, 56% of the number. Colts allowing about 96 yards per game. Is Gentry going to be able to get it going? We saw how good he looked against the Raiders. I really think he is. I think this is going to be a great matchup for Myers inside against that rookie from Tulane. Carroll as a dog, 59.6% ATS. Carroll on a 2-game losing streak, 71% against the number. So I'm on the Raiders here. Now, I also did a prop, and look, I also know he sat out today's practice, but I'd be utterly shocked if he didn't go. Give me Brock Bowers over 51.5 yards. Indianapolis has struggled all year defending the tight ends, 29th DVOA against this position. Linebackers have been a liability in coverage. Franklin, a 42.6 coverage game, 54th out of 66 linebackers. Banshee graded out 47.1, 48 out of 66 per PFF. Huge matchup advantage here for Bowers. Bowers is already the focal point of the Raiders' attack. 6th in targets, reception, and yards. Colts are giving up 44 yards per game to the position, 9.3 yards per attempt. We saw Ogagwa went over this, 66 yards against them. He's really been the only feature tight end that they've had to play. I think this is a must-win game for the Raiders. I expect the game plan to feature a heavy dosage of Brock Bowers. So I'll take over 51.5 yards.
I like anything Brock Bowers related. Anything Ashton Genty related. I have scratch on their futures for the season props.
I think he gets in the box here.
It feels like a right game for it. One of the fun ones that I took this week that Isaac and I talked about, I've got Spencer Schrader, Indianapolis kicker. I've got him over 1.5 field goals, 4-0 to the over this year, Eric. He's 13 of 14 to start the year. He's been kind of quietly doing that as the Colts are kind of doing this little bit of a dominant run. Vegas, 4th in opponent touchdown percentage in the red zone at 38%. Despite Indy's dominance, it's funny you talked about Indy on the other side of the ball. They're 25th in touchdown percentage on offense with 47. So I like Spencer Schrader. It's over 1.5. It's sitting right around minus 135 on Bet Openly. I think I locked in at 132. So it is a little bit juicy, but that is probably one of my favorite props this season or this weekend. So
I like it.
Anytime you can get into the kicker props, I gotta love it. So let's get into the 3:00 games, home stretch here as we are getting through Tennessee and Arizona. Isaac and I talked about this game at length. What are your thoughts on Kyler Murray? Now, Kyler Murray, I think it dates back to week 14 of last year, has not thrown for 250 yards. Right now, is Arizona a team that you're buying to win games by a touchdown? It feels like a lot of points.
I hate myself. I took the Titans plus 8.5. Murray, 41% against the number as a favorite in his career. When you look at favorite at home, dips down to 29. Underdogs catching 7 or more the first 5 weeks, 63% against the number the last 4 years. Teams shut out the prior week, 61% ATS as road dogs the following game. Teams off a 26 or more point loss, 56% of the time they cover the number. Arizona 2-1, but they rank 22nd net yards per play. As you mentioned, Kyler is averaging below 200 yards passing. Ground game, bottom 15 EPA. Turns out Trey Benson is hurt too. So now they are on their 3rd string running back. They got Micah Carter coming off the practice squad. Defensively, the Cards are just 23rd against wide receiver twos. I think this really sets up well for Enamayor, the rookie from Stanford. There's a strong connection with him and the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Ward. Tony Pollard should also, I think he's going to be able to run against this banged up front 4 of Arizona. Snead, I think he's going to match up against Harrison. And the Cardinals offense, it's weird because now this is what my eyes are telling me. Harrison wants to be the dude. Harrison is pissed off that it's McBride is.
Mhm.
They had Harrison playing in the middle last week, the middle of the field, had some drops. Murray's throwing him the ball, and he's worried, hey, now I have to catch it. I could get hit. When they moved him to the outside, it looked a little better, but you can tell he's still pissed off. He's not the dude, if that makes sense.
No.
So I think there's some stuff going on there in the locker room, and this is a young team that has no idea how to win with the Cards. When you looked at it, Saints almost came back. Panthers almost came back. They should have won at San Francisco. They should have beat Seattle. Seattle, they were beating themselves too with the turnovers. And the mistake at the end, like, I don't know why Gannon why didn't you go for 2, Gannon? And then look, one more inch and you're 1 more yard and you're playing for overtime. Instead, your kicker under kicks the landing zone and you put Seattle in field goal range.
Yeah.
This team just beats itself too much. I got the Titans plus 8.5. Anything over 7.5 is a buy in my eyes.
Yeah, I don't hate Tennessee. It's obviously a hold your nose kind of bet. I think one place you could see some definite positivity. I think Cam Ward could definitely find some success. This is a defense that's allowing over 255 passing yards per game, which is 28th. They've allowed the most completed passes of any team in the league this season. Now they're also right up there in passing attempts, as they've been in positive game states for the most part. But that's also part of the fact that, and I was reading online, Arizona just loves to stack the box when they probably shouldn't. But they also rotate out of it. It's Gannon's way of playing defense. They try to confuse, but it was like far and wide pre-play players in the box average. Arizona was crazy high, but then somebody just completely went underneath it and said, yeah, can we see the screenshots of like a second after it's snapped? Because nobody's where they are. So yeah. It's a really interesting offense, or defense rather. But I do think Cam Ward could find some positivity there. I like your angle with the wide receiver 2 as well. So won't harp too much on the Tennessee Arizona game. This is one that I want to talk to you about. Tampa and Seattle. I talked about the fact that I teased San Francisco out to 14.5. In doing so, I also teased Tampa Bay up to 9.5. That is now at +3 from 3.5 earlier. So it is creeping towards Tampa Bay. What are your thoughts in this game, Eric?
Bucky Irvin, obviously out.
Yep.
Will the Seahawks be able to run against Vita Vea? This is going to be their best rushing defense they've gone against. When you look at Mayfield, 55% against the number as a dog with the Bucks, 14-7, 67% as a dog. I look at it like this. You can make an argument that this is the best defense that the Bucks have played, and an argument that this is the best defense Seattle has played. Which team is going to be able to get it going? Baker, top 3 turnover where he plays. If the rush game isn't going for Seattle, if they can't get Walker going in that zone read against Vita Vea, who's the best run stopper in the league, is Darnold going to be able to make the throws? You know what I mean? That's the big if for me. I think the Bucks are a little fraudulent. I don't trust them when I kind of look at what they've done. If the Texans could have made a sack on that 4th and 10 play, they lose that game. Mm-hmm. In a position to lose the Jets game. There's just
should have got blown out last week.
Yeah. So I don't think the Bucks are that good, and I don't trust Sam Darnold. I want nothing at all to do with this game.
Sure. I 100% agree with you in not trusting Sam Darnold. Darnold this year has kind of had a little bit of a smoke and mirrors when it comes to the numbers. Looked very pedestrian in week 1. Week 2, slightly better against Pittsburgh, but he had 2 turnovers. And then in week 3, they blow out New Orleans, but he still only completes 14 passes for 200 yards. It's like he has not shown that he's got that boom potential that he had last season. But it also comes down to his guys that he's throwing to. He had better guys to throw to in Minnesota versus what he's got right now. But I don't disagree with you on Tampa. I love Tampa. I love Baker Mayfield. I just love the way that he plays. I had Tampa teased last week as well, and they had no business covering that teaser or any number by that. There were people that were bitching about them not covering the 3.5. It's like, did you guys watch the game? like at all. Like it shouldn't have been close. But yeah,
they were getting completely utterly boat raced.
They were getting throttled in the first half. It wasn't even close. I completely had counted that game out until the third, fourth quarter, where I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna backdoor this teaser for me, and sure enough, they did. So yeah, I personally think Tampa this week. Seattle's not a team that I trust to win by margin, so I am gonna keep that teaser out to 9.5. So go ahead and beat me by 10, Seattle. I dare you. That is going to be it for that one. Washington and LA is an interesting one. I was close to pulling the trigger on Washington plus a field goal. Do you have a side, or are you looking at that 47-point total?
Another tough game. Daniels is going to be back. Cosme, we thought was going to come back from the IR. He has been rolled out. Noah Brown has been rolled out. Terry McLaurin has been rolled out. So this is going to lead to a Luke McCaffrey, Zach Ertz as your offensive weapons. Do you trust to move the ball against the Chargers defense? Chargers are going to be without Alt, so that means they're going to be without their right and their left tackle. I don't really like this Commanders defense. I came on here last week. I was really big on the Michael London overs, really big on the Falcons. But I don't trust Quentin Johnson. I'm on Ladd McConkey's under yards for receiving. I don't know who they're going to go to. And I don't know, with two backup tackles, are you going to be able to protect? I just sat this game out, man. This is another one of those games I'm just kind of sitting out. I'll probably have some wide receiver from the Chargers in a DFS lineup. What wide receiver? I don't know.
I think I talked about it. They all have lines of 60.5 this week.
I am going to have one of them. Did you see Quentin Johnson's like 4th or 5th in the league in receiving yards?
Something like that. Yeah. He's
that's
up there.
If I had to pick someone, we haven't had the quote unquote Ladd McConkey game yet. Maybe this is going to be
I'm waiting for it. I've got him on a season long.
I got a season long under.
The one thing I worry about, and the only thing that's kept me off this game, is that Los Angeles pass rush against a tackleless Washington Commanders offensive line and a hobbled Jaden Daniels. If I had 100% Jaden Daniels without tackles, I'd be a little less worried, but this is a team that is 6th in total pressure rate. You've also got 5th in sacks. I can't quite get there to back the commies. If it got to 3.5, you could maybe talk me into it. At 4, I'm all over it. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I'm going to sit that one out for now. This one is another game I am sitting out. I contemplated teasing Detroit down to minus 2.5, but
come on, buddy. This is you only live once, dude. Look, dude, I got my crossover Red Wings Tigers cap. I'm rocking that. I'm rocking the 313 right now. But I'm doing it, dude. I took the Bengals plus 10.5.
I had a feeling you would. It went through my brain as I was thinking about that teaser. I'm like, I can't tease a team and then have Eric be on the other side.
Let's just kind of think it. Let's just kind of talk it out here.
Yeah.
Last week, Lions were favored by the same number at home against the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going on the road, favored by the 10.5. That doesn't do it for me.
Sure.
Now let's look at who the Bengals have played the last 2 weeks. They have played a Flores defense who brings pressure, and the Denver Broncos. This Detroit defense is a massive downgrade.
Oh yeah.
DJ Reed is on the IR, so he is out. So that means that Terrion Arnold, who is banged up also, who may not even play, could be your number one cornerback against Chase Brown. Also, that's going to force Robertson, Maddock, and Rock Yi-Sim into crucial.
Ooh. We talking Rocky Sin actual meaningful minutes here?
Yes, which is absolutely brutal.
That's not good.
And T. Higgins. I think this is going to be a huge drop in defense for Browning and the Bengals. I think they're going to be able to move the ball, and that's huge because their defense can't stop shit. Team favored by 7 or more points 3 straight games with their third game. So they've been favored by 7 or more 3 straight games, and their third game is on the road, are 24, 35, and 1 ATS. Teams coming off the rule of 17, my favorite bet. Teams coming off a 17-point win, a 17-point loss, or facing a team that's coming off a 17-point win or more, 60.4%. When they are home dogs, 62.3%.
I feel like we've been getting that trend a few times this year. You've said that trend on here multiple times.
I love it. Team, and it hit with the Falcons last week.
Yeah, the Falcons literally just did it.
Teams off a shutout. What am I talking about? Shootout cover. Shootout are 56% against the number, 61.3% when underdogs. Now, I'm a full believer in look-ahead spots. Do you know who Detroit has on deck?
Kansas City.
Prime time matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs.
That was the first thing I saw when I pulled it up. I'm like, oh, this is a look ahead.
I mean, anything over 10 is a buy. I'm taking 10.5, dude.
No, I don't hate it. It's why I stayed away from it. I personally can't back anything Jake Browning is doing right now, but no, I'm with you. The trends, I will never argue against the trends, because you know what the trends are? The trends are facts. You can't argue against trends if they're literally facts. So
dude, they just scored a touchdown to tie it.
I know. This is a game where
my DFS lineup today, my 50-50 lineup. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my lineup. I have Williams in the captain spot, killing it, 35.55 points. Stafford, 22 points. Kendrick Bourne, 20.5 points. Everyone's killing it. Then I have Devontae Adams, 9.
Devontae almost got in.
Cartney, 2. And Demarcus Robinson, a whopping 6.9. Just getting b-hopped here.
Very top loaded.
Very, very top loaded.
Very top loaded. Well, let's talk primetime. We have 2 primetime games, which I think are, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're the most attractive games of all time. We have the Bills laying north of a touchdown against New England in a game where I feel like I've watched New England keep way too close over the years in Buffalo. Total in that one currently sitting at 49, sky high. I would definitely lean to the under. What are your thoughts on this one?
Bills defense 21st, DVOA 20th against the pass. This run QB option offense, the Patriots are trying to run. Are the Bills going to be able to stop it? If they're not, that's obviously going to limit the possessions for this Bills offense. Now is a letdown spot. The Bills are kind of the king of the AFC now. They see the Ravens are down, and they see the Chiefs are kind of limping. Do they kind of take the pedal off the metal? Last 3 years, Allen really isn't covering these big numbers, just 6, 12, and 1 ATS, covering these big numbers over a tutty. Vrabel, 57% as a dog, but 1-1 as a Patriot. It comes down, are the Patriots going to be able to rush the ball? If you think the Patriots are able to rush the ball, this is going to be a competitive game. We saw last week against the Saints. Saints with Miller and Kamara were able to move the ball on the ground. And when they're able to do that, they were able to keep the game close. Their defense played great, limited what Cook was able to do on the ground. Are the Patriots going to be able to do the same thing? I don't know. The Patriots entered this year as everyone's kind of team. Oh, wow, let's do it. This is going to be the team that makes the playoffs. I really haven't been that impressed with them. I still think they're a couple guys away on defense. Offense really doesn't have that playmaker on the outside that Drake May needs. Another game I want nothing to do. These are the Sunday night games I love because my old ass can go to bed.
Yeah, 100%. So the one thing I look at, and you actually hit it right on the head, is Josh Allen in double-digit spreads. We've seen it in the last 2 weeks. Couldn't cover the 11 against Miami. Couldn't cover the 14.5 against New Orleans, coming up a point short in both of those games. Yeah, to me, it feels like New England is not a team that is, and I don't think this is a word, blowoutable at this point of the season. I think it's a definitely, you look at a division game earlier on in the year. Buffalo, you can't tell me, you talked about it, the bravado of being the team in the AFC right now. There's nobody else that could even come close. And in Buffalo, you can kind of hit cruise control here for the next few weeks. I know they're feeling that way with New England, at Atlanta, at Carolina, and then your game against Kansas City. You also got a bye sprinkled in there as well. I think this has everything to me points to New England plus 7.5 and sprinkle on that plus 310 money line. But I'm going to wait to get a little closer to game time. I would love to see this thing get out to the 8.5 range.
That game Buffalo plays, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, they just look lost.
They
look lost, and then their coach is sitting in the locker room after it talking about 9/11.
And maybe it was last week against the Saints. Maybe that was it. And I mean, that 15.5 was never in doubt. The Saints actually were in a position to F around and win that game, but
they were.
I'm not going to do anything here. Maybe I can find a prop or two I like, but I'm not going to.
When the Saints cut it to a 2-point game with under 9 minutes left, I was luckily did not have any Buffalo tickets. I knew to kind of stay away from that, but yeah, Buffalo, not a team that I think is going to blow people out of the water this season. So
they're a running team. As much as everyone
wants
Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that,
they are. James Cook is one of the top 3 backs in the league, I believe, and it's a team that will run the ball to be efficient. And you know what happens when you run the ball? The clock keeps winding. And you know what happens when the clock keeps winding? It makes it really hard to blow teams out. As the Yankees just made it official, the Brewers will be facing the Cubs at 1:00 on Saturday, and I'll be working. Yay!
Ooh.
That is going to be a fun series, one way or another. So yeah, kind of. I think we're both somewhat on the same page for that game right now. You can get New England plus 8 at even money on Bet Openly. Hopefully that thing just keeps getting out wider and wider. Last game of the week.
One real quick thing on that.
Yeah,
with Sunday games, you can kind of. How can I word this? Everyone ties it into the Sunday game. Okay. So kind of like last week, I don't mean to open up an open wound, but
I hit a
every teaser, every money line, every parlay with the points is going to be tied into the favorite.
Oh yeah.
Same thing here. Everything's going to be tied into the Bills. Anything over 7, if you're going to bet it, you have to bet the Patriots and look to fade the Bills. That is going to be, the Bills are going to be a huge need for the books. So
absolutely. The Bills are going to, the books will be begging. And when you get to Monday night, I think we're going to see a similar scenario. Right now, the Chiefs sitting at 3.5 at plus money. I think this line only gets wider. I don't see Jacksonville getting the buyback to get this thing back under 3. I personally don't love much in this game. I actually like Travis Etienne to get into the end zone at plus 123. But outside of that, that was the only action that I really foresaw myself having.
Another game I'm not really rushing to bet.
Sure.
One thing I was a little bit interested in is, as much as I hate to say it, Travis Kelce, I may look at his receiving yard over Jacksonville, is 32nd DVOA defending the tight ends. They have given up 49.8 yards per game, 10% yards per reception, and a 74% catch rate. If I'm going to look at the Kelce, I'll be interested in some Travis Kelce props for sure. In terms of the side, this is how I look at this game. Do we trust the Chiefs? The Chiefs are coming off a big win over the Ravens. They have a prime time against the Lions on deck. Defensively I'm still not sipping the Kool-Aid for them defensively. Haven't looked right. Jones looks old. On the other side, the Jags. It is obvious Liam Cohen cannot stand Trevor Lawrence. Absolutely obvious.
Yeah, that's weird vibes.
Should have won the game in San Francisco. Lawrence doesn't throw it to Brian Thomas Jr. at all. It is insane how brutal it is. I knew it was going to be a downtick because all his production came when Mac Jones was at the helm, but I didn't know it would be like this. And my big thing I've always said is when we look at betting these props to start the season and there's coordinator changes, you need to think of it as a game of risk. Everyone has different strategies they do. And the one thing Liam Cohen has shown us, no matter where he goes, is he likes to get the running back involved. One of my best things I've done is draft Travis Etienne. That's in the league I'm doing the best in. I got Travis Etienne in the 9th round.
Nice.
And
I picked him up too. I love Etienne.
He has just been a stud. For him to get in the box, I absolutely love. I'd probably look at his receiving yard. We need to start thinking of him as, I don't want to say a poor man's Trevis, poor man's CMC, but that's basically what he is. He's the best receiver. He's what you're going to lean on in the running game. So I like that. But in terms of side, I got nothing here.
For sure. Well, that is about it, my friend. We almost had 4,500 people in as far as viewership this week. Appreciate all of you. Eric, let the people know where to find you on Tuesday nights.
You can find me on YouTube at etoft21. I'm going to be live. Get some early lines. We beat the market last week. Beat it this week. Make sure to check that out. Everything, DFS, UFC, MLB,
horse racing, literally whatever you want, they've got
it. It is there. So make sure to check it out. And I always appreciate coming on. Look forward to coming on next week, my friend.
Oh, brutal special teams. Goff here by the 49ers. You're going to see it in a second. Drive you crazy as a coach.
Dude, I'm at the 8:18 mark. How much time is on your clock?
I am going to commercial.
Jesus. God. That's the one thing I hate about Amazon. Like, it's like
I'm using Amazon.
So am I. I'm using Amazon right now. I'm on
You're just all over the place.
Just 8:18 just makes it brutal, man.
Crazy. All right, man. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Appreciate everyone for coming on. Eric, appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you next week, my friend.
I will talk to you soon, my friend.